So you have to figure out why your client's in the chair. And when you recognize that, you just allow them to be themselves in there. You allow them to come in there to get what they want. And, we offer a lot more to the community than a good haircut. We give people a safe place to express things about themselves. And, that's most important. So I try to just break the ice. And when you're vulnerable, people also feel the need or the opportunity to be vulnerable themselves.
I don't think a lot of folks think of the barbershop as a place to get more than a haircut. But I think you're really right. I always end up relaxed. I feel taken care of. I feel seen. All those things. Is there a way that men need to kind of expand their thinking in terms of what's available to them and kind of what the consequences are for them of taking care of themselves this way?
Yeah, I think there's just so many more options. I mean, my therapy's virtual. I don't even go in person, but I know that there's an option for me to get it from wherever I'm at. I've met my therapist in person, but we do it virtually, and for me that works. So there's options out there to get the help that you need. So don't feel limited to. There's only a couple of options, or you can't get to what you need. And there's always been this thought that therapy is only a place you go to when you're really messed up. But even successful people that just have a lot of stress going on, or people that want to help and learn themselves a little better, it's a tool to life. And I believe that a lot of successful people have always kept that in their closet, and it's a thing that we overlook. So I think it's a great tool in life.
I think I'm gonna hit your 30 of being in therapy, and it's it's funny. I used to always make a joke, haha, something's so wrong with me. But I feel very much more what you just said, Vic. It's just like a way that I've taken care of myself, sort of tuned the machine a little bit. And I love that as you say, the sooner you start getting to know the self and understand your dynamics a little bit, your patterns, your habits, your challenges, the better. I'm curious, how do barbers get taught about mental health?
I think we just do it naturally. I don't think it's, we go to a class and learn mental health. That we just do it naturally. We try to bring the energy in the shop, and every barber's different, so I can't speak for everybody, but I think most barbers just carry the energy that we're pillars in the community. So I think it's more of a natural thing, but I think bringing up the awareness of how important it is that barbers have these roles, I think will just make it a little bit more better for the industry.
Well, you have just it seems like a wonderful mental health intervention. One of the things that keeps men and women the safest after incarceration is having the respect of a good job and a paycheck. Same thing with addiction. Number one predictor if you're going to be alive in a year if you have opioid addiction, if you have a job. And so when I saw your barber academy started in a prison, it really, as a psychiatrist, really touched me. Just a brilliant intervention. I wonder if you could share a little bit about that and what it's like helping people get some skills and get back on their feet.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's one of my most proud moments that I've been able to do in my career, and one of the most important things, helped me feel connected to my purpose. And a special guy came into my life by the name of Scott Budnick, and he completely changed a lot for me. And he was the producer for the Hangover movies and all these great blockbuster things, Project X. And when he had reached out to me, I thought I was gonna get put into the next Hangover, and I was like, oh snap. But he told me that he works in the California prison system, and he wanted the guys on the inside watch my videos for motivation. And he had asked me if I ever been interested in coming to take a visit. So of course, I don't. When I asked God to allow me to inspire, I didn't ask for it to look a certain way. So when an opportunity like this came into my life, I just took it as an opportunity to share my purpose. And we were able to go in there, Valley State Prison, and look at the barber school that they have, and really push for the reform there to happen with the program. And it feels great just to be able to give people an opportunity to see how they can come back and help the communities now, and just come back with an opportunity to start a career. You can teach a man to fish, or you could give him a fish for a day, or you can teach him how to fish for the rest of his life. So giving somebody a tool like that, barbering, it's going to last forever. Hair ain't never going to go nowhere. You could go across the world and cut hair in any country, even if you don't speak the language.
That's true. The best haircut I think I've ever gotten was in Mombasa in Kenya.
Wow.
And it was just a little like a straight razor.
Yeah.
It was just a wonder, as you say, just a wonderful experience that we have as men. Oftentimes, I think, especially when folks are depressed, or they don't take care of themselves. And I'm wondering, you must see
it where men, maybe come in a little disheveled. You can tell they're a little down, and it's a quick transformation all of a sudden when you're like, spruced up a little bit. Is there something men talk about that, or do you start sharing more, you think, over the last, decade or so in the chair about their mental health?
Yeah, I would say it's just like I said earlier, it's just becoming more of an open topic and more spoken about now than anything. And I think the conversation about mental health just looks like regular conversation.
Yeah.
I don't think the question that exists in the chair are, hey, tell me, are you depressed? It's more so, what have you been excited about? Like, how was work this week? Simple questions like that are mental health conversations. What have you been doing for yourself lately? These are all things that are easy to ask that revolve around that same topic without having to pry at a person.
Yeah, I mean, they're easy to ask, but I like hearing them, and I think everyone watching appreciates those clear prompts, because a lot of times we do think about the mental health conversation as like, the music gets heavy, and we get real close and say, talk about your depression or dark thoughts, and, just saying, hey, it's a mental health conversation for people to just process a little work stress, or it's just the hardware store. And suddenly, we started talking about mental health, started talking about a friend of his who'd had a suicide attempt. I mean, it was just, it's right there, as you say, in normal conversation. So I really appreciate that, Vic.
Thank you.
You've mentioned your faith and your faith in God, which is a real centerpiece, it sounds like, for you and your mental health. And I'm wondering, for a lot of people maybe have fallen away from their spirituality, or they weren't raised with that in the same way. And I wonder if you can share a little bit on how you see people doing a better job accessing spirituality.
Yeah, I think in life, at times you hit a point where you can't really do anything but turn to God or a higher power to really help you out. And those were times that I've been in where I'm struggling to find out what it is to do with my life, or what is my next step, or how am I going to continue to follow this path that I believe I'm supposed to be on. And, a lot of those messages can only come from God. And when I was a senior in high school, I was told directly that if I took barbering serious, it would open doors for me. And it was the most shocking message I could ever have, because I was already thinking about the situation. And when I got that confirmation, I just knew I had to pursue that. And, I just believe for myself, that my life is written out, and I'm on a mission here. And I've only been able to be here through the journey that God's given me, and the signs that He's given me to continue to grow and talk about the Word. So, yeah, that's really where I'm at. And yeah, like I said, sometimes you'll hit a point where you can only turn to a God or a high power.
I really like what you said earlier about being on a path. I see a lot of patients here on my couch really, confused about the decisions they've made, very fearful of the consequences. And it's something when working with people of faith where it sits with them a little differently. They don't feel in some ways as responsible for the outcome as you're saying, because it's the path that they're on. And it's I saw the picture in your garage of your barbershop when you first got started. Now looking back, we love the story, right? But first starting out, having a message from God, you're not going to go to college, you're going to be a barber.
You got a shop you're opening up in your mom's garage. I'm curious. There were some doubters about it, and I'm wondering how you stayed true to that.
Yeah, I think when God gives you a vision, it's meant for you. And if it was meant for everybody else to see, then everybody would be on your team. That's not how things start. Like, if it was for everybody to see, it would be too easy. But as I believe that if you're given a vision, it's enough. And you will never go out with the tool. You never go without the tools that you need on the journey. You'll be prepared at every step that you're going to come across. Whether you think you are or not, God will always give you the people that you need or the tools you need to succeed. So I've always felt that I was prepared at any step of my life. Even for this moment that I've had this week, I think I had to go through years of connecting with people on the streets to even have a chance to be prepared to have a conversation like this. So the journey will always prepare you. This is how I look at it.
Yeah, and also it seems as you started,
You're doing something that maybe is counterintuitive. You're going out into the streets, giving haircuts, helping people have a sense of themselves, sense of respect. So, well, Vic, I appreciate all of your time and sharing so much about yourself and being an advocate for bipolar
disorder, and for all of us, being responsible with both our mental health, but also I just love this notion you shared right now. This idea, we being responsible, that there is a unique path and vision for us that no one else can see. It's just for us to see and enact. And I think you're just such a wonderful example for us. In terms of next steps for you and things that everybody watching should be aware of, other than checking out the great episode in this season of DeepCut with Tom Brady that just dropped. I was watching some clips. It's really great. How else can people what else is coming up next, and what would you like people to know for the weekend?
Yeah, we got, of course, first watch the episode with Tom Brady. It is special. And we got many more already shot and lined up. This, I think, is my next chapter. I'm excited to share it with the world and impact people at a very high level. And, it's all about humanizing each other. There's so much misconception about celebrities and athletes, and we believe they're so disconnected from us, and it's not the case. So me and Tom were able to have a real human conversation together, and I got many more on the way. So excited to drop that, and I have a brand called Planted that'll be having another drop soon, and being planted is about perseverance and staying down. I believe that when a tree is planted, it's going to stand tall through all 4 seasons. There's so many seasons in your life where you'll look different, things will feel different, but as long as you keep your feet on the ground and your roots together, everything comes back around full circle. So those are my 2 things this year. My show DeepCut and my brand Planted.
I love the focus. I tried to get some Planted strike here, and I've been waiting for the next drop.
Coming.
Yes, I hope so. So, Vic, thank you. All the best to you. Take care of your mental health. Thank you for all you shared about. It was very personal, and for being open with us,
and for inspiring us. It's just been a great Friday sessions, everyone. Weekend's coming up, and I think the directive is very clear.
I hope that you can spend some time thinking about what you've heard from Vic and some of the wisdom he dropped here, and some of the notion in particular. What is it that you see that is meant for you that no one else can help you with because no one else sees it? I mean, that's just such a beautiful thing. Have a great one.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.